Hey, hey. Oh, don't you worry, Stephen A. We'll talk about how Detroit got robbed in that game in just
I don't know
a
what
bit.
you're talking about. I don't see the cops.
Oh, you saw exactly what happened.
I don't see him. I don't know what you're talking about.
Wendy, Perk, top of the morning to you both. S.A., great to have you in studio again. And gentlemen, we got a whole lot to talk about, not just playoffs, but what happened in the draft as well.
Did you see Wendy with that tie on and the blue look?
Wendy is on a little boondoggle right now in Miami.
That right now? And my man Big Perk. I pity the fool. I pity the fool that messed with Big Perk. I pity.
Hey, Stephen A. Molly, you know over there at Lighthouse Church, my pastor Keon say, "Come as you are, come as you are."
There we go. True story. All right, guys, let's get it. And let's start with that Lakers game. Heck of basketball games yesterday. J.J. Redick kept the same 5 players on the court for the entire second half of Game 4 on Sunday. Anthony Edwards said he knew L.A. would be vulnerable to his late game attack. Minnesota erased a 10-point fourth-quarter deficit to win 116-113 and go up 3-1 in its first-round Western Conference Series. Here's J.J. on the reason no subs were made in that second half.
Not a planned thing to play 5 guys an entire second half. We asked them at the beginning of the fourth quarter, told them we had 2 extra timeouts. You know, if you need a sub, let us know. Those guys gave a lot.
This is the playoffs. Fatigue shouldn't play any role in this. You know, play a lot of minutes, but that shouldn't play a role. I think they just executed better on the offensive end during the last minutes.
All right, Perk, we had one wild finish after the next yesterday. Who is the most to blame for LA's Game 4 loss?
Oh, it's J.J. Redick, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Listen, you have a guy in LeBron James who is 40 years old. Do you realize he's going to be eligible for his pension in 5 years? Right?
Slow down.
Do you realize the short turnaround to Game 4? Less than 48 hours, what he gave you in Game 3, and all of a sudden you're asking a 40-year-old LeBron James who's guarding everybody. He started off the game guarding Jaden McDaniels, to Julius Randle, to Anthony Edwards, to Rudy, to Naz Reid. He had to do everything defensively. He had 2 shot attempts in the fourth quarter. Not because he wanted 2 shot attempts, it's because he didn't have the energy. And so when you look at the Lakers bench, I'm looking at Jared Vanderbilt. I'm looking at Gabe Vincent, who, by the way, helped the Miami Heat get to the NBA Finals. And, JJ, you mean to tell me the time that you went up 10 points, that you couldn't find time to rest those guys and get those guys a breather? And you're going against a young, athletic squad in the Minnesota Timberwolves who are a bunch of dogs, who pick you up at the half-court line, who pressure you, who play physical as hell. You got to do better than that. And so when I look at how that game ended, yes, I could. If he wanted to leave Luka in, Luka should be able to play 24 straight minutes. He's young. Anthony Edwards, I didn't see him get tired at all. But when it comes down to LeBron James, a guy that you need the most, especially towards the end of the game, when it comes by possession, and you don't get the best out of him because you overextended his minutes, I got to blame this loss on J.J. Redick. He got to take accountability on this.
It's not that you're wrong. It's that I think it's a bit harsh because let's call it what it is. And I saw Wendy saying this earlier on Get Up. J.J. can't trust his bigs, okay? And essentially, you can't really trust anybody else that you've seen on the bench. LeBron James wasn't doing anything in the fourth quarter because he was expending all his energy on the defensive end of the floor. Because we got to give credit where credit is due to what we're seeing from Minnesota, Big Perk and Wendy. We got to do it. Minnesota basically has been all up in the Lakers. All up in them, okay? What are they doing to Luka, for example? Luka, he shoots 1 for 7 in the fourth quarter, all right? 7 points on 1 for 6 field goals in the fourth quarter. Why is that? Because he barely had any legs. Because they're pressuring him from open and tap, and they're making him work, relying on what they know about Luka in terms of his conditioning. And they're saying the way you're going to have to rely on him, he ain't going to have but so much to give in the fourth quarter. Like you pointed out, Big Perk, LeBron James is 40 years of age, 22nd season in the NBA. What are they saying? Excuse me, there's nobody that can do what he does that the Lakers have available. But in the end, let's make sure we attack him all day, every day. Not just what we're doing to him defensively, but making him work offensively because of what we're doing defensively. They were all over him. So if you're J.J. Redick and you see what a struggle it is for Luka, what a struggle it is for LeBron, and you see Ant-Man, who is that dude, a shark in blood-infested waters, coming at you, knowing that he elevates his level of play. He hasn't been taken out. He's played every minute in the fourth quarter, okay? McDaniels all up in you. Julius Randle, balling, coming at you. But everybody being physical. I understand what you're saying about J.J. Redick, but in the end, it's hard to blame him when you're going like this. Every damn second counts because these brothers are in us, and I don't trust anybody that I see on my bench that can handle it even for a minute or two at this pace, as tight as this particular game was. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying it was a mistake that I could stomach because you understand certain moments you just can't trust a lot of people. Unfortunately, it highlighted the Lakers' lack of depth because the cats that you would normally rely upon, you knew you couldn't trust them in this particular situation. That's what happened.
Yeah, I think the first thing I want to say is credit to Anthony Edwards because he's been the best player in the series.
No
he
doubt.
had 43 points yesterday.
Yes.
The reason the Wolves are ahead is because of their depth, but also because they've had the best player in the series.
Right.
The Lakers have made several calculated risks. The front office made a calculated risk when they rescinded the Mark Williams trade. They didn't like what was going to go going forward, and they believed that this team would be able to somehow squeeze by. That has hurt them in this series. If different things had happened, maybe it would have gone a different way, but that has hurt them. J.J. Redick played a center yesterday for 4 total minutes. After that, he played no center. That is not a way to play in the NBA. You can get by with small lineups for a little while. You can't do it for an entire game. And the fourth quarter of the last 2 games, Friday night, it was a 2-point game going into the fourth quarter. The Lakers got outscored by 10. And I understand Luka had the flu. They get outscored by 10. They get pounded in the paint in that fourth quarter. Yesterday, they're up by 10 going into the fourth quarter. He plays everybody through, doesn't play a big man. They get outscored by 13. We're talking about a very tight Western Conference playoffs. You cannot get outscored by 23 points in the fourth quarter of 2 road games. You're just not going to win.
Wendy, what are you saying, though? Are you of the mindset that J.J. did the wrong thing or that he was helpless but to do what he did? What are you saying?
I think he made a risk based on the hand that he's holding. The Lakers have a flawed team. If the Lakers' 3 stars had all played great in this series, if the 4 best players in this series contained 3 Lakers, if Luka was great and LeBron was great and Austin Reeves was great, there was a way through. There was a pathway through for the Lakers, but they have not been great. And then his gamble to play these guys down the stretch backfired. LeBron has perfected something over the last 6 or 7 years that I've really admired, and that is his ability to rest during the game. Right. He's like a great boxer in this way, or a great swimmer. He finds ways to rest during the game. He's resting on offense yesterday, as you said, Stephen A. And Luka is exhausted because they're pressuring him full court. Well, the Timberwolves are the deeper team.
Big Perk, just so you know before you go, LeBron James in the first half averaging 16.8 points, 61% shooting. Second half of this series, 9.5 points on 39% shooting, Perk, to make your point. Go ahead.